Hello, I'm Martin, and I've been looking after my wife as a carer since she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's in September 2009 through to her passing on out of this world on the 15th of February 2017. I'd like to help by letting people know where supports are and where best to use them. For me, it was the family. We were very fortunate that we had the children living around us and we had grandchildren around us. When things got too much and the frustrations got too high, I could always phone one of the children, adult children, and ask them, can they take Bridget for a little while? And that allowed me some space to recover and understand it will pass. We never understood how much the community could help us until it happened. But sometimes she would go out of the house without letting me know. And it wouldn't be 2 minutes before a neighbour would call, or somebody would bring her home, or in one occasion where we were in an area where she wasn't known, a gentleman picked her up, put her in the car and drove her to the Garda station. We didn't know what kind of supports were there. And we found out through a terrible accident when Bridget fell down a set of concrete steps and broke her wrist and her hip. When Bridget fell, we were in total panic. We got her to the hospital and they did all that they needed to do to put her back together again. And then when we were being discharged, we were referred to the public health nurse who took control of the situation and allowed me to relax and realize that all was under control at last. She arranged for the occupational therapist to provide Bridget with all the equipment necessary and materials. She visited as she found appropriate, on some occasions weekly, till she was sure she knew where she was. She did Bridget's dressing. She kept me confident that I could handle it. The biggest help of all was when the community nurse recognized Bridget was coming to her end. She called the hospice doctor, came in, a voluntary organization, and she brought in a night nurse who told us what we were facing and how to ease Bridget's passing. And I can say to you, before this, we were terrified when we realized that she was going and we didn't know what to do. But the hospice nurse had been through this 100 times, and she explained in the most loving way possible how we could help Bridget pass. And Bridget did pass on in the company of her 4 children and her husband in her own bed in her own home. If I was to pass on some of the things that I've learned to those people who are starting on this journey, I would say, first of all, look after yourself. Find your space. You must look after yourself or you can't look after your patient. Secondly, I would say, rely on your family. Then go forward and make sure the neighbourhood knows, the shopkeepers, the gas station, the next door neighbours. You'll be amazed how much help will come your way. Then of course you've got to go to the public health nurse and let them know that you need help, and you will be amazed at the help they can give you.